learning outcomes for the module on Fluid Balance Chart. In this module, we will cover the following points: developing a deep understanding of the chart and its particulars, common errors that happen during the process of filling the chart, things to keep in mind while entering input and output details, looking at the essential background knowledge and correct approach that is needed to ensure accuracy.
So this is the fluid balance chart for the OSCE. It's a standalone scale, and you'll be given a chart and some numbers, and be given a desk and a calculator and a pen, and it's 15 minutes long. The chart looks like this. It's very similar to the one in the Royal Marsden, and basically you have to import some numbers in the input side and the output side of the chart and make a calculation, take away the output from the input and make it clear whether it's a negative or positive balance. So I'm just going to go through what these words mean at the top of the chart just to make it a little bit clearer. So we've got oral, so anything that's a drink. You've got liquids such as tea, water, orange juice typically in here in this column, and it will be given a time. So these are hourly boxes. Any time within the 8 o'clock in the morning box would go here, and then any other times in the day. So if you've got 16:20, it goes in the 1600 box, and so on. If the person had 2 drinks within an hour, you'd have to add them up and put them in the same box. So the next box along says enteral. Enteral typically means feeds that are given via gastrostomy or PEG tube. So they haven't been giving this in the OSCE at the moment. There'd be fluids like Gevity, and sometimes Ensures and 40 sips are given this way. They've not used this yet, so at the moment I don't expect this to come up in the OSCE, but if it did, you can put enteral drinks here. Parental refers to IV or central line fluids, so normal saline has been the typical fluid they've used at the moment. Anything that had glucose, potassium or any other additives would also go in there. You can write the name of the fluid above. So as I said, at the moment it's been normal saline, which is 0.9% sodium chloride or NaCl. You could write that in. As long as you write the numbers in, that's the most important. So if you get given a number such as 1,000 mils, you'll be given a time frame that's to be given over. So if it's 8 hours, you need to divide 1,000 by 8 and write equal amounts for each hour that it's given. If the fluids are started, say, at 12 o'clock, I would expect you to put in the 1 o'clock box, 125, if it was 1,000 mils over 8 hours, and carry on writing down the column until you've done 8 lots of 125. So this green column is an hourly column. Each hour you then would total what the number was for that hour. So if a person has a drink at 8 o'clock in the morning, we can put it in the green box here, but it'll also go in the pink box, which is the running total. If that person had another drink at 11 o'clock, we would again put it in the green box and add it up to the running pink total. If they were started on fluids later on, so that on IV fluids, and the first reading's 125, we'd put the 125 in the green box and again add it up to that running total of those 2 drinks in the pink column. If a bit further down they're on fluids but they have a drink, that means that the 125 for the fluid, for the hourly fluid, plus the oral fluid would all go into the green box. for that hour, and it would be added again onto the pink running total. So this one goes from 8 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning the next day. It's a 24-hour fluid balance. The last number on the pink column would be the overall total they've had in that 24 hours. Similarly, on the next output area of this chart, they've got headlines at the top: urine, gastric losses, bowels, drains, and then the hourly total and the running total. So mainly they've been giving urine output. So this will be in mils. Everything's in mils, by the way. And they will give again for that hour, whatever the hour is, a urine output. And you need to input those numbers in. Gastric losses would be something like, usually if they've got an NG tube on free drainage, or maybe even a gastrostomy tube. So they haven't typically been given these type of patients. It could even maybe be vomit, but again, they haven't been putting vomit in either. So it's been urine up to now. If they do put bowels in, they don't give an amount, so it's not in grams, it's just ×1. And all they've asked is you just acknowledge it on the chart. It's not going to go into the running total. So if that person had a bowel action a couple of times a day, you would put ×1 in those hours. Drains are generally like surgical drains, and they tend to drain small amounts in a matter of 10, 15, 20, 50 mils, but not huge amounts generally. They haven't really been doing that either in the OSCE at the moment. It might be well to practice putting these things in if you're practicing the fluid balance, but at the moment all they've been giving us are oral fluids, IV fluids, urine output, bowels, and you just need to write the number of times. So again, with the output, urine, if they've had pasta water in the morning, you need to put that there in mils and add it to the running total in the pink column. And again, later on, put it in the green column and add it up to the total. If they do put drain in, like I did, you can add that on again. If it's in the same hour as the urine, you'd add them together and put it in the hourly column, and they're adding it onto the running total. So basically with this chart, the green boxes, if you added them all up, should equal the end running total for each one. That's a check you can do at the end. I would always double check your numbers. So like any maths, always double check it, because it's easy to drop a number and make a silly mistake. If you make a mistake on plotting it, they won't fail you. But if you make a mistake on the actual overall total, they will fail you. So once you've completed the chart and filled all the numbers in, you need to take the output away from the input. So if the person had taken in 2,000 mils and put out 1,000 mils, you take 1,000 from 2,000, and the fluid balance is 1,000 positive. And it does ask you to be specific about positive or negative balance. If that person had intaken 1,000 and output 2,000, the 1,000 negative. You don't need to know why. You don't know the background of the patient. You don't need to explain what you need to do, because we don't know anything about this patient and their condition. So that would not be necessary in this station. All you need to do is get the numbers right and be really specific about it being positive or negative, and fill in anything they ask at the top: name, date, hospital number. So if that's not already filled in, you need to complete that. And it does say at the bottom, print and complete the name of the nurse filling in the fluid balance and sign. So always make sure you read these parts of the chart. They're there for a reason. It becomes a legal document once you've signed and printed. Otherwise, this actually doesn't really have any legal bearing. So I'm just going to go through how it would probably appear. These are written numbers. I imagine they will be printed. So you'll have a list of printed numbers, and it'll have input and output numbers that you need to mark onto the chart. I'm going to actually do this now so you can see exactly how to input it if anything wasn't clear then. In the OSCE, you'll be given a calculator, a standard calculator, usually a little plastic calculator, and you will be able to add the numbers up using the calculator and then be able to subtract and get your overall balance. I'm using the app on my phone. You won't have a phone in the OSCE at any point, just a calculator, just in case you were wondering about that. They're all straightforward to use. So I'm going to input some numbers now, and just to be really clear how this should be put together. So the first number is 245 juice, so that's oral, and it's 8:15. 245. I'm not going to write mils because I think we know it's mils in the UK. And then we're going to look at the next input number. I'm going to skip all the output to start with and just put the input. If I'm going to input the IV fluids, it says 1,000 mils normal saline. I need to know how many hours, and it says here over 8 hours. I'm going to make a calculation on my calculator just to check what I think it is. So it's 1,000 mils divided by 8, which gives 125. I'm now going to start inputting that in the correct column. So it's the 10 o'clock column, and the first amount would go in by 11 o'clock. So I'm just going to write that in by 11. 1, 2, 5. I can write above that what type of fluid it is. So it's normal saline, which is either known as NaCl, 0.9%, or just normal saline. Because they've written normal saline, I'm going to write normal saline. The next input is 50 mils of orange juice. So that was taken at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So again, I'm going to write in the oral column 50. And then I've got 2 outputs. I'm going to go to the next one. It's 16:30, which was 250. And urine tea at 21:30. So that would be in the 2100 box. 220. So I'm going to go back to the normal saline and make sure I've put 8 lots of 125 in. 125, 125, 125, 125, 125, 125, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one more, 125. That's 8 lots, so it's 125 over 8 hours equals 1,000 mils. So I'm just going to put the output in now. So I've got urine 310 at 9 o'clock, 310. I've got urine 423 at 12:30, 12 o'clock. Urine was 423, and at 14:30 they had a bowel action, so I'm just going to put times 1, and then at 17:45 they had urine, 17:45 of 520. And then 1800 they had a bowel action times 1. And 1930 they had urine of 312. And then 2315, they had a urine of 332. So I've got all the numbers in. I'm just going to double check that I've got them correct before I add them up, because the less crossing out on this chart, the better, and the more accurate I think it'll be. So I've got oral juice at 8 o'clock, 245. I've got 1,000 mils of normal saline at 10 o'clock. So we started at 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 50 mils of orange juice at 1 o'clock. And I've got 250 mils of tea at 16:30, 250. And I've got 220 of tea at 21:30. And then I go to the output side, 310 of urine at 9:30, 423 of urine at 12:30, and 204 of urine at 2:30. So there I've missed one. So it's a good job I checked. So we've got a 204 of urine, and this is why I always say to people to double check. Then we've got a bowel action at 14:30, and then nothing else till 17:30, 520, a bowel action at 6 o'clock, and at 7:30 we've got 312 of urine, and at 23:15, 332 of urine. So I've got all my numbers in. I'm just going to make sure that I can add all these up correctly on my calculator. So I've got oral intake 245, put it into the hourly column, the overall total 245, and then I'm going to go to the next input at 11, 125, add that on, 125, and it's 370, the running total. Then I've got another 125, add 125, 495. At 1 o'clock I've got 50 plus 125, which is 175. So I need to add 175 onto the 495, and it's 670. And then I've got another 125. Add it on to 670, and you get 795. Another 125. Is 920. And here we've got a 250 and a 125. So add the 250 and 125. I get 1295. But in the hourly column, I need to add those two numbers up. So if you need to add those numbers up, do it separately. 250, add 125 equals 375. And then go back to 1295, adding the 125 on. Add 125, 1420, another 125. There's 1545, and then the fluids have finished. They had another drink at 9 o'clock, which was 220. So add 220. You've got 1,765. This person didn't have anything after that. So for now, we'll just look at these numbers, and should we be filling in between? basically what the OSCE have said is it doesn't really matter if you were to fill in all the way down the total, but as long as you get the numbers correct. So I would put the 1765 at the bottom and go to the output. Before we go to the output, we could add up the green column to make sure that it matches the pink column output. So it's 245, add 125, add 125, add 175, add 125, add 125, add 375, add 125, add 125, and then add 220, and I get 1765, which is the same input as I had in the pink column. I'm now going to add all these urines up. I'm going to input them first into the green column. So it's 310, 310, add. My next input will be 423, and that goes into the pink column now. So 310, add 423 equals 733. So then I've got 204 for the hourly total there, and add it on 204, it's 937, and I've got a 520, and add the 520 equals 1457, then add 312, 312. Now that is slightly in the wrong column. If I make a mistake, I'm just going to cross it out like that and just put my initials there. That's fine. You don't need to scrub everything out. So 312 added on to 1457 equals 1769. And they've had another output further down of 332, 332. So it equals 2101. So that would be the output until the next morning, 2101. So again, I can just add up the green column just to make sure. 310, add 423, add 204, add 520, add 312, add 332 equals 2101. So, as we said, you need to take away the output from the input, and it looks like this will be a negative balance because it's greater than the input. So we've got 1765, take away 2101 equals minus 336. So the total balance was 336, and it was negative. Okay, so I've made it really clear. So I would just make sure that I've put the name of the patient in and their hospital number and the date today. So that's the end of the fluid balance for the OSCE.